Time for Countdown's number 2 story, tonight's worst persons in the world. The bronze, shared by Republican Congressman David Dreyer, Pete Hoekstra, and John Culberson. They are comparing themselves to the oppressed bloggers, tweeters, and voters of Iran. Dreyer at a congressional hearing. I wonder if there isn't more freedom on the streets of Tehran right now than we're seeing here. Ask that of one of the guys in Tehran with a bullet through his thorax. Hoekstra by Twitter. Iranian Twitter activity similar to what we did in House last year when Republicans were shut down in the House. Absolutely, since you're both using Twitter. Culberson, oppressed minorities include House Repubs. We are using social media to expose repression such as last night's D-clampdown, shutting off amends. Honest to God, boys, this oppressed minority crap, this martyrdom stuff is not only childish and delusional and embarrassing, but it is an insult to real oppressed minorities in Iran and elsewhere. You know, the people who are getting shot at, not you Republican fat cats whose suffering consists of having to get the 2nd, 4th, and 6th best parking spaces instead of the 1st, 3rd, and 5th. The runner-up, Newt Gingrich, his latest column full of delusions and self-congratulations includes his nugget from history that he hopes will guide us through these perilous times. If you go to the National Archives, you will find the words that are fundamental to America written in the Declaration of Independence. We are endowed by our Creator, and this is in quotes, mind you, with certain inalienable rights, among which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, unquote. Actually, you won't find that because that's not what the Declaration of Independence says. It says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Wow, close, Newt. It's too bad there's no place you could verify a quote that you think is in the Declaration of Independence that you have, in fact, pulled out of your own backside. Speaking of which, our winners, the Fox News Channel. Well, we're assuming that's who the President of the United States meant in this interview with John Harwood of our sister station, CNBC.
First of all, I've got one television station that is entirely devoted to attacking my administration. And you'd be hard-pressed if you watched the entire day to find a positive story about me on that front.
You know, Mr. President, you could just call them by one of their many pseudonyms. Fixed News, Fox Noise, Cluster Fox. Over their 2 Fox News channel, there was no doubt to whom the president was referencing. Morning, noon, and night. Morning. Look, we're just balancing things out. When you watch the other channels, the news channels, it's all, you know, you don't hear a lot of the criticism. There's one network that is devoted to absolutely being his cheerleader. That is mindless crap. Here are the issues I've disagreed with the president on White House transparency, on Don't Ask, Don't Tell, on prosecuting torturers, on investigating the Bush administration, on military commissions, on the speed of withdrawals from Iraq, on eavesdropping, on the Defense of Marriage Act, on earlier in this show, this token treatment of same-sex partners of federal employees. These are cases in which I've used the phrase, the president is wrong, or Mr. President, you're wrong. And that's just my show, to say nothing of Rachel's or Chris's or Ed's or the daytime programming, which as late as Monday had that buffoon John Ziegler on just before he staged a massive protest of David Letterman that drew 40 people in New York, a smaller crowd than waits in line here for the guy selling shish kebab from a cart. The night response. I don't think the president is afraid of Fox. He is a very smart and tough man, but I do think he holds a grudge. There is a huge Fox audience that he represents since he is the president of all Americans. Well, it's good that you recognize that, since such a disturbing percentage of the Fox audience will not concede that this is, in fact, the case. Fox News, which is not only a political entity, but probably more of a political entity than is the Republican National Committee right now, only it's fraudulently disguised as some sort of news organization. Fox News foments the beliefs that Barack Obama was not born in this country, or if he was, somehow he attained the White House improperly, or if he actually got there properly, he shouldn't get to stay there. And with ever-increasing irrationality, Fox no longer bothers to separate the legitimate means by which he will someday leave there and the illegitimate ones. It is propaganda and bullying and fear-mongering dressed up to look not merely like news, not merely like the truth, but like the only truth. Maybe that's why Obama would not use the name of the organization. He couldn't call it the Fox News Channel without bursting into laughter. Fox News Channel, a brand name, like Virgin brand condoms. Today's worst persons in the world.